back. Been busy on a multitude of things, doing some parts cleaning and getting some things around tool organization dealt with, and just other stuff. But one thing that needs to get done is mounting the timing sprocket back on my camshaft. I have my camshaft back. This is a new asymmetric camshaft that came from Stephen Rock, and we're putting it in this bike. When I took this out, I took the old camshaft out of the motor, and because I was going to replace it with this. We sent this exact camshaft off with my cylinders and heads and pistons to have it be used in the valving of the heads so that we could get it as perfect as we can. And so when it came back, I'm in the position of I have to put everything back together. Now, when I bought this, I had a minute where I looked at getting the version that had the camshaft sprocket already installed, and I was cheap, and this one cost less, so I went with that. So that means we now have to get the sprocket back onto the camshaft. And on this version, there's a woodruff key at the end of the cam, and that has been installed. I've gone through this a couple of times now. I've tried twice to put this on. Tried to put the original on the first time using a method that I found written by one of the more venerable Airhead community guys that said, yep, heat this thing up to, I don't remember the specifics, but it was 500 degrees, I think, something like that. Take it out of the oven. Should be basically dry when you do this. Smear red Loctite on the inside. Didn't specify it, but I'm assuming what was meant by that is heat resistant Loctite as well. And so I did that, and the result was the Loctite immediately cured and left a goop on the inside of the sprocket, which required a tremendous amount of effort to remove. And in the end, I had to resort to a couple chemical treatments, some very mild abrasive work with a Scotch-Brite pad. Tried very hard to only get the surface, but if you know anybody who's a machinist, you know that's impossible. There's no way that now that this is clean again, there's no way that it is not slightly different shaped. Once I knew that was the direction I would have to go, I said, screw it, and I bought a new one. And so today, actually last night, I made a first attempt at putting the new one on the camshaft, and in spite of it looking like it is good, like I'm pretty sure I have clearance for the woodruff, and everything should work. Couldn't get it to seat on. So today we're going to try round two. There's a couple of things I'm going to try. I'm going to very lightly dress the woodruff key, just in case there's a burr that I can't see or feel that might be catching the sprocket. Again, very lightly. I don't want to change the geometry. I really just want to touch the edges and make sure that they're good. And see if that doesn't work. I'm going to give the sprocket a little more time in the oven. I got the oven heating now. It's going to be a while before it comes up to temperature. And yeah, we'll give it another go. So the plan is to get this chucked up in the vise and some soft jaws. We will use a 0.1 millimeter feeler between the bearing flange, the bearing, actually, this is the bearing part, but the bearing flange is all one assembly, and the shoulder on the camshaft, so that we have our infloat preset. Get everything good and hot once this has been, once the key has been dressed up, and then we'll come back, a little bit of fresh oil on this just to help it, and we will attempt to just slide the sprocket onto the flange until it stops. If we get the key set up right and if everything works, that should work. So, well, we'll see. Third time's a charm. Okay, so I've got everything set up in the vise. I've got a feeler gauge installed. It's 0.1 millimeter, which should be the infloat. Soft jaws on the vise down here, probably off camera, yep. And I've got a light bit of oil. My key is here, and I have it dressed a little bit, just did the edges, just these top edges and a little bit, just in case it's catching on the sprocket. So I also adjusted where the keyway is. So what I've been doing to get the key in is using a C-clamp. And so I put the C-clamp on and made sure that the top of the key, so the part that's going to engage with the sprocket first, is just slightly in, a little bit. Like I would say, if I look at the side, if 90 degrees is vertical, this is maybe 87 or 86 degrees. You know, it's just a hair out of plumb, which means that the top of the keyway here is a little closer to the camshaft than the bottom. And just in case that was getting in the way last time, this should help. The gear's been in for a bit now. I actually just took it out of the pan because my pan was beginning to warp. The gear's showing at like about 410 degrees, so it's got just a little bit more to go. And yeah, we'll see how we do. All right, so round 3. Let's see how we can do it. Okay. This is very, very hot. Like that. Maybe I didn't get it hot enough. So we're there. We're going to let it cool. Just leave it alone. I've got my spacer in. We heard it seat. Yep, we're good. It's seated. Sorry. For a minute. The expletive was because I thought I had it upside down. But I don't. The keyway lines up with the timing mark. The bevel is the front. The timing mark obviously needs to be seen from the front of the engine. I forgot to even look at that when I was doing this, so luckily I had it oriented in the oven correctly, which might be a good pro tip. All right, yeah, that's on there. So we'll let it cool, and then we could get it installed on the motor.